Here's a Beyond the Pitch podcast quick hit from the WVSA Digital Network.
The first thing I would say is that when we see them, the few times, maybe we see them on a slightly more limited basis now, or we see them for the first time after a while. As coaches, I would not be addressing COVID at all, other than whatever the protocol is for that training. The children are very aware about COVID. They've dealt with it at school. They haven't come to these precious soccer training sessions to have a debrief about COVID. So I would not be becoming an amateur psychologist dealing with the topic. What I would do, especially because we, as you propose, we might have some limited time or limited frequency, is I probably would say to them, okay, great to see you guys today. These are the 2 or 3 things we're going to try to work on. Let's have fun. And at the end of session, let's see if we got to them. So I would be, because they may have not been with you for a while, I would be mindful of kind of putting their minds at rest and letting them know that it's going to be a safe environment in terms of what you're planning on doing in terms of soccer. I would not run around the field and get fit because you haven't been with me. I wouldn't do anything that relates to physical conditioning or anything like coaches unfortunately fall back on because they think the lack of contact time, they make up for it by running them. I wouldn't do that. Absolutely not. What I would say to the grassroots coaches, if you've got now, perhaps because of a lack of frequency, a little bit more time at home to map out on a napkin or on your iPhone, the list of activities, I think it's possible to show up to these trainings a little bit better prepared than you typically would be in the rush of coming from your workplace and you've got to train them 2 or 3 times a week or whatever it is. So I think the coach dealing with this COVID sort of situation has an opportunity to reflect a bit more on what to prioritize, has an opportunity to plan the sessions a little bit more. And of course, what we should be striving for once again, but even more so during COVID, is a lot of activity around the ball, a lot of movement, a lot of interaction per the COVID protocols. It shouldn't be fitness training and sitting around talking about how difficult the COVID situation has been. That's not for us as soccer coaches.